Can you go to a hard money lender? Yes or no? Yes, hard money lender will give you that 600 at very high interest rate, but here's the key. You get the loan, you sign the lease, now you have a property now worth $1 million. Can you go to the bank and say, I will do, listen to me carefully, maybe write it down, an assignment of lease. Now, I don't care if you're bankrupt or broke, non-US citizen, whatever it is, once you got that building and you got the tenant, any bank can give you a loan. Wells Fargo will give you a loan, which is very conservative, provided you give them a form called an assignment of lease, and they record what's called the UCC1 filing against the property. Meaning, the tenant will pay in your bank account, the bank will take the payment, PITI, principal, interest, tax, insurance, the rest sits in your account, positive cash flow. Is that beautiful? Say yes. Yes. By the way, can you go to the seller of the building? Can you go to the seller of the building and say something like, hey, I would love to buy your building as agreed for $600,000, but I'd like to give you $650,000. The seller said, come again? I accepted $600,000. You're asking me to pay me more? Why? Because I will bring a tenant, put me on the deed with the condition that I'll bring a tenant within 90 days, and within 90 days after that, I'll refinance and give you $650,000. An extra $50,000 for you to allow me to be on the deed with a condition. Very simple. It's actually, they can add you on the county record right there. Even if there is a loan on the property, you don't have to be added on the loan. Is that beautiful, yes or no?
Yes.
I mean, I can give you so many variations of this, but you got the idea? Yeah. Very good. So to summarize, I do joint ventures, many kinds of joint ventures. I've done this a great deal of time, and I tell you, it changed my life. I've done these for myself. I get the properties, put them under contract, bring big tenants. Somebody mentioned Puerto Rico, and yes, I do all my deals in California. My fund has done very well. We started the fund in 2009, and we've been growing like crazy. And what happened is I was making so much money, the taxes were humongous. And I found out in a US territory like Puerto Rico, there are tax incentives that are nowhere else in the world. I don't like to go offshore. I stayed within the shores of the United States, and I can reduce my taxes to a flat 15%. How many people like that? Now imagine the difference. You make $1 million, instead of paying 50% in tax, you pay 15%. You take the extra 35%, you can do tithing, you can do more investments, you can do good in the world. Because you'll never do things by yourself. And the idea is to create that syndication, create that group where people can benefit and grow with you. The entire goal of life is to figure out the shortcuts. Once you figure out the formula, you're able to do it, repeat it, and scale it. You grow and contribute. You got the idea? Mm-hmm. Any questions, since I have 5 more minutes? Would like to take any questions? Sir, and I'll repeat the question so everybody can hear.
What's your phone number?
What's my phone number? 415. You know, I'll give you this as a gift, by the way. I'm an author also. I wrote a book, so you can, I wrote a bunch of books, but here's my favorite one, because this one will give you my history, how I did it. And I used to work for a billionaire. I was working in a hotel in Los Angeles, and a billionaire in a hotel lobby, I was 20 years old, asked me to work for him, changed my life. I worked for him for 8 years. He's still alive. His name is Mo Sorry. But you can download my book. It's a free thing. It's my gift to you. Just text 415-200-4842 and write Ocean, because the book is called Blue Ocean Opportunities in Commercial Real Estate. This is Blue Ocean. Blue Ocean is nobody's competing with you. Everybody's looking at this as, empty space, oh my gosh, tenants are leaving, it's Armageddon, we're all going to hell. You're looking at opportunities. How to bring the right tenant, how to create jobs, prosper the areas, get the money, repeat the process, and really impact the area. Today in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, where I went, where the cruise ships arrived, I am the largest single owner of historic properties. When Gene Garino, we introduced him, a friend of mine of 18 years, when he told me, listen, I'm with Ross and Robert, and we arrived in Old San Juan. Are you there? I was in Cancun. My wife is originally from Cancun. I spent a lot of time there. I go to San Francisco, back and forth. So I said, oh, Gene, it's too bad I missed you. He said, we're going to walk around, look at the buildings. And what I did is repeated the same strategy with mixed-use properties, residential on top, commercial. Once you know how to do it, you do it. You will read my story. You will see how I did it, and it's just an easy read. Any other questions? Thank you for that question, actually. I almost forgot about the book. Sir?
Hey, the situation you described, it sounds to me like the broker who listed the property originally is the one who should be doing all this work anyway. So is the real opportunity...
Oh, what a great point. Okay, he said, well, Cherif, you brought up something to my attention. The broker is going to be doing all the work. I'll tell you how great your point is. I have students that have done this in the past, and here's how they get it. So they call, and the tenant calls them back, and the tenant says, Yeah, we're very interested in that location. Can you send us the as-built? Now, assuming you don't know anything, you didn't get training. As-built? I don't even know what an as-built is. You call the broker. Hi, I need an as-built. And then they send you an as-built, which is actually the drawing of the property. And you hit forward and erase that penalty. There's a lot of nuances in what I do. Look, it's great. I try to give you not the 80-20, the 20% of the 20% of the 20%. You understand my point? Like, it took me 40 years. At 16 years old, I realized I could make millions, right? I'm 56 now. So in 40 years, I learned so much, made millions, thank God. And now I kind of work, I don't even do a lot of live events. I love what Russ and Robert do. So this is like so attractive to come in and talk to an audience that's so focused about the future. This is so exciting for me. But honestly, if I lose it all, I'll make it all back in 4 months. But just think about it. If I could have just met me 40 years ago, where was I? You know, I would have paid myself so much money, right? By the way, I don't do coaching. Don't think this, I'm trying to tell you. I don't do coaching. I don't care how much I just do joint ventures. I work with great companies like what we got going here, where everybody's of like-minded and we grow. And by the way, I can teach all what I learned in 4 days. Isn't that amazing in life? It's fast to tell somebody, here's what we do. Now go and let's do it. But the downside is nothing. The upside is huge. And the more you practice, the better you get at it. The better the videos you send, the better the emails you send. You focus on your own backyard and you be yourself. And once you do this, you can go raise money and create your own syndications. I even do what's called co-sponsoring, where I have the funds. I have the Reg D 506B, the Reg D 506C. I have even a Reg A Plus registered with the SEC. It took me 9 months. I could have had a baby, another baby, right? But the point is, this is what you put in there. And that's when you tell the investor, how would you like to get in? This is what we do. And it's not about me, it's about these tenants that we bring in, and the corporate guarantees, and the loans, and the non-recourse loans, etc. And when people see that you know, and you're taking action, they want a network. Because it's knowledge, action, and network. And with this, I'll turn it over again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How about Cherif Medawar? Man, I wish I could spend a week with that guy. That would be something. So we don't often get a chance to have somebody brand new on our faculty that we haven't heard speak. So it was truly, and really, had it not been for the strong endorsement of Gene Garino, I'm not sure that we would have. We did definitely want to meet Cherif when we got to San Juan, and the story he told, he just wasn't in town. But we did get to look at a lot of his buildings, and a lot of those beautiful, kind of colonial-looking buildings, dozens of them that he has. And so he's really the Puerto Rico guy. So next year, we go to Puerto Rico for the summit. Now, nobody knows that yet, except Cherif and Gene, and now you guys. So we're not 2017, 2018, one of our stops, if you will, is going to be in Puerto Rico. So we're hopefully going to learn a ton there. Not only, you know, how many of you were already familiar with the tax incentives for Puerto Rico? Yeah, Dave Zook and I met a couple of guys 2 weekends ago, and they moved their business and their families to Puerto Rico to take advantage of it. It's fascinating. Gentleman you're going to meet if you come on the summit is also done with his business. His name is Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff has one of his businesses in Puerto Rico for the tax reasons. A lot more we can talk about today. Speaking of which, obviously Cherif literally could do 4 days, and does. He does those kinds of trainings, but we only had a little bit of time, and yet I think he did a good job of convincing it down. Who is now looking at empty buildings differently? Opportunity. I saw a quick YouTube video he'd done on that. I went, man, that's great. That's because that's what this business is. It's a business of connecting. And all you do in that case is take someone who's not connecting with the right person, if you can be the conduit, and then not have a lot of skin in the game. There's lots of ways to make money in real estate when you don't need a lot of your own money. Starting out in real estate, many of you did wholesaling, right? Finding a deal and then giving it to somebody else because you didn't have all the money, you didn't have all the credit. But you get to the point where you have a lot of money and credit, you can only be in so many places. So excellent job. Thanks again to Cherif for that. Hey, we've been pondering something at the Real Estate Guys. We want to do some market research. You know, first of all,